Hello, welcome to I was going to say vlog. It's not really a vlog, it's just a video. And it's a video marking the end of a bit of an era for me in terms of car ownership. It's the end of a bit of a dream as well, because tomorrow I'm selling my Aston Martin DBS, which I've owned for about 4 years now. Some of you may know that already. Some of you may not. It's not something I tend to tell people unless they ask me specifically. It's weird. It's one of those. I find it a bit cringy. Even now, I find it cringy telling people that I own Aston Martin, and even saying it is. I feel uneasy saying it. Why? Because I think you never know what sort of reaction someone's going to have when you tell them that you own something like that, something sort of valuable and maybe seen as a bit, I don't know, maybe elitist or something. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. There's definitely a reaction. Usually it's a positive reaction. So if somebody says, "What car do you own?" I tell them. Usually they go, "Oh wow," and they're really interested. But if I'm not talking to someone directly, or occasionally I've seen the reaction of somebody else, and it's as if to say, why are you showing off that you own? Like that's not my bag. That's not really the sort of person I am. But I obviously think about it a lot because I've just talked to you about it for like 2 minutes. But I don't know. The point of this video is I wanted to make a video about the car for ages. If you scroll back through my YouTube channel 4 years ago, there are a couple of videos there, I think, about this. I did two. I did one that sort of had the car cover on, was like an unveiling, and did a detailed close-up view of it. And I did another one which was driving. Just to capture the sound of the engine, because it's a great sounding car as well. They were made years and years ago, and then I never made another one. I'd taken photos of it since, but I thought as the car's going tomorrow, I would just celebrate that by making another video. And I think it may be of interest to some of you, particularly I know a few of you maybe follow me for Need for Speed stuff. And if you do, you probably have an interest in cars. So maybe you'll find it interesting. I certainly like talking about it. If someone is genuinely interested in the car, then I love to talk about it because I'm very passionate about my cars. And as I said, this ownership experience for the last 4 years has been an absolute dream. Quite literally a dream come true. This first appeared, this car, 2008 or whenever it was, in Daniel Craig's first Bond film, Casino Royale. And the moment I saw it, it was absolutely my favourite thing. It just looked, every line, every curve, every proportion, to my eye, obviously it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder and all that. To my eye, it was just perfection. And luckily enough, about 4 years ago, I was in the position where I was moving house, and if I arranged my finances in a certain way, without going into detail, I could afford it. And it was that sort of thing of, if I don't do it now, maybe I'll never be able to do it. Sort of carpe diem, seize the day. So I went for it, and it's been an awesome 4 years. There are various reasons that I've got for selling it now. At the time I bought it, I think I probably was of a mind of kind of keeping it forever, But circumstances change, and my idea of what I want changes on a regular basis. And so I've come to the point where I feel like something else would suit me a lot better. And I don't drive it a lot. Like the last year, I've done maybe 1,000 miles in it. Which isn't a lot, and it's a lot of money to be kind of sat there in my garage, not really doing very much. It's the sort of thing where it's so nice that I hardly want to take it out. So I won't take it out if it's raining unless I can avoid it. I won't take it out if it's windy unless I can avoid it, because I live near the sea, and if it's a westerly you get a lot of sea spray and salt flying around in the air, so you don't want that. I'm very careful where I park it. I don't like parking it anywhere next to any other cars. If I go to a restaurant or something, I find myself, in fact it was Brandon I was talking to about this the other day on Twitter, X Factor, I go to a restaurant, and if I can't see the car from the window at the table that I'm sitting at, I find myself getting anxious and eating through the meal really quickly, just to get back and make sure the car is okay. But the flip side of that is, every time I get into it, you feel special, because it's such a nice environment to be in, and every time I look at it, I just have to stop and just appreciate how pretty it is, and what a nice looking object it is. Some people don't get cars, I appreciate that, but for me a beautiful car is just something I can gaze upon, like a wonderful vista or a sunset or something. It's that kind of appeal. Having said all that, what I thought I would do is just walk around the car, just maybe explain a little bit more about why I bought it, why I bought the DBS, why I bought this particular DBS, and some of the nice little quirks and things that Aston Martin have generally in whites. For me, Aston Martin was the sort of pinnacle. I think to have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, you have to have a certain sort of character. And I think Ferraris and Lamborghinis and that kind of exotica maybe are viewed in a different way as well. I only ever got positive public reactions to this, driving down a busy high street or something with the windows open during summer, and you would hear occasionally people say, "Oh, it's Aston Martin," or "that's nice," or something like just generally complimentary stuff. Stop at a petrol station, people would compliment you on the car, and it's a real head turner for sure. And at junctions and stuff, people let you out when they don't need to. For something like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, I feel like, maybe it's just my own prejudices, but I feel like the reaction isn't always quite so positive. And that's not because of the car, it's because of the owners associated. It's like the BMW thing of the type of owner, to a degree, historically, has marred, and it's a generalisation of course, but has marred the perception of BMW, my light's just fallen out, of BMW as a whole. So the cars are amazing, obviously. They're like one of the most sort of highly regarded drivers' cars, as are all BMWs, but it's more about the owners. Anyway, I'm literally rambling on for no particular reason, so I'm going to sort that light out, take the camera off the stand, and walk you around the car. So this is, until tomorrow at least, my Aston Martin DBS 2010 manufactured year. The colour is silver birch, which is, I think, completely unique. I don't think there are any other DBSs in this colour. And the significance of the colour, and I've marked it with this custom seal plaque here because it is quite unique. The significance is that it's the colour of the James Bond DB5 from GoldenEye. So there's that sort of Bond connection. The DBS was obviously a Bond car in two Daniel Craig films. Both great colours. But when I saw this car, really the unique colour is what sold me on it. Let's start with... Oh, it's really cold in here, so I'm shaking. This key is one of the nice, unique features of the Aston Martin experience. So, is it going to focus? It's a glass key. I'll take it out of its cover carefully, because if I drop it, it's very expensive. So a lot of reviewers, when I was researching the car, were quite critical of this because they said it just wasn't a very convenient way of having a key to operate a vehicle, which, you know, to a degree is true. And there are a couple of other instances or examples that I can show you on the car. There's just something about the way Aston Martin do things that is unique and just makes it feel a bit more special. So you put this in the dashboard, I'll show you in a sec, and you push it in, it becomes the stop-start button. I've never found it to be troublesome or problematic, but there you go. I like, it's one of the little details that I like, these side strakes when you unlock, or when you indicate, unlock and unlock the car, they light up. I think that's a really good way to do side repeaters, just completely flush. Anyway, let's start at the front and work back. I just open the car so it doesn't lock itself again, and also actually open the bonnet from the other side. One sec. Okay, the bonnet catch is just down there in the passenger footwell. So there's a few bits of carbon fibre, panels on this car. One is the bonnet, the wings, carbon fibre, and the rear boot lid, and the sort of little lip spoiler there. And this, obviously, the heart of the beast. 6 litre naturally aspirated V12, 510 brake horsepower, I think, 420 foot-pound of torque. And the great thing about this engine, I think it's generally regarded as being one of the greats, you know, is that it's so smooth. There's no perceptible flat spot in power. You put your foot down and it accelerates and increases in sort of rate of acceleration smoothly throughout the power band right to the top of the range with the rev limiter. And it's an absolute joy, and of course it sounds immense as well. It really is a cracking engine and absolutely massive. Well, it's a lovely looking engine bay, and this all Aston Martin, actually you could do with a little bit of a wipe down. All Aston Martins have this, it's a bit of a gimmick, truth be told. This inspection plate for the final inspection as it comes out of the factory is put there with the name of the guy that did it, allegedly. Who knows if that's actually the case. It's just a nice little touch, you know. This is one of my favourite parts about the car as well. The grille, it's so iconic, I think, for Aston Martin. A few other little carbon fibre touches as well. These splitters at the front of the car here. This beautiful wing mirror arm, I suppose you'd call it. It's all carbon fibre here as well. Such a nice shape, I think. And the rear diffuser is also carbon fibre down here. I have to see if this is shaky cam when I get back in, because it's bloody cold. I should have put a heater on, hasn't I? I'll just show you the door opening, because that's quite unique as well. I'll do it on my other hand. So these little LEDs light up here, so you can see where to push in the dark, and you push here. The handle pops out, otherwise it's obviously completely flush. Handle pops out, the window pops down a bit, and you pull it open. Pillarless doors as well. Nice little carbon fibre door pulls here. And the other unique Aston Martin trait or feature is having the handbrake on the right hand side. Normally you'd find it in the middle of the car somewhere, but it's here, and it drops back down so you can get in and out once it's applied. So that's on, and then to release it you put it back up, push the button in, and it's off again. Leather absolutely everywhere, of course, with this kind of nice contrast stitching. Actually, I'll show you the brakes while I'm outside. Massive carbon ceramic brakes. I forgot what they are, like 398mm or something rotors, and huge, great calipers as well, with the Aston logo on. Diamond cut rims as well in silver. This car came with very few options when it was bought new. Obviously, I didn't buy mine new. Mine was second hand. I had one owner before me, and one of them was the colour of the wheels. You'll see a lot of DBSs with the kind of grey and silver wheels. The other option was to have these vents. These are called Magnum Silver. You could get them in black as well, but I think the silver suits the colour of this car as a whole, in my opinion. I'll show you the back seats. You can't see it, but maybe it's right there. Can you see the legroom? I say legroom. They're not sort of legs. They're not seats. I mean, they are seats in that they're shaped like seats, but essentially they're there to make it look finished, as opposed to just a void. They're not really practical. Just one of the reasons that I'm selling. Okay, inside the car. So this is what I mean about the car. The key. Insert into here. I'll start it briefly, but otherwise if I leave it running, the garage will fill up. Foot on the brake and push. This comes out again. Let's just turn you can just push it sort of half in, it turns the ignition on. I'll just show you a couple of things, like the lots of little things that pop out, sort of James Bond styley, like the Bang & Olufsen speakers. They'll do that on other cars as well. Bang & Olufsen, if you have it specified on, I think Audi have it as well. Anything with a Bang & Olufsen stereo, you turn it on and the tweeters rise up out of the dash. Down again. There's the sat nav, which pops out of the dashboard. No, a bit antiquated now, to be honest, this system. It really is quite old, based on an old Volvo system. So kind of one of the weak spots of the car, really. But, you know, it does its job. Turn that off again. What else can I show you in here other than the dashboard, of course, which is just another sort of unique Aston Martin trademark. The speedo, I guess, works in the normal fashion of swinging around clockwise, but rather than following suit, the RPM gauge swings around the other way. It's just, again, something a bit unique to Aston Martin. These lovely magnesium, obviously, that, you know, again, the materials used in Aston Martins are just, they're always top notch. So instead of just sort of aluminium, these are magnesium paddles for the gear shift. So this car has the 6-speed Touchtronic 2 gearbox, which is sort of ZF derived gearbox, common in many cars actually. There is a manual option. Gear stick obviously would be sitting here. I kind of wanted a manual. My first instinct was to get a manual because it is a driver's car, but I just couldn't find one in the right colour and the right year. Manuals were built very early on, and many Aston Martin dealers persuaded prospective owners to go with the automatic gearbox for some reason. I guess they think it would just be better. As a result, most cars built after sort of about 2009 were automatics. But that's just the way it goes. This pad here, literally, is for your elbow. It's just such a nice touch. So you put your elbow here and then your hand on the wheel like that. GG. Connection for phone and stuff in here. The pen. I don't know if you can actually see that very well. It pops out the dashboard. Cheeky little Aston Martin. And that just goes back in there. Boop. I think that's probably all I can think of to really show you at the moment. And it's going to be very sad day tomorrow when I say goodbye to because as I've said many times, it has been a dream to own this car. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I've got something to replace it. It's nowhere near as, I hesitate to say special, but like, this is a special car. You know, I own it and I feel slightly obnoxious for saying it, but it's a special car and it's my absolute dream car, right? But what's going to replace it is not going to be so special. But it is a bloody nice car and I can't wait to get it. And I don't know whether I'll speak much about it once I've got it, but yeah, when this goes, it's going to be a very sad day tomorrow. Right, see you soon. Goodbye.